Denver's Department of Transportation has some big plans that would require big funding that does not currently exist. The city has spent 2 years drafting its newly released Denver Moves Everyone plan. It is a literal roadmap of short and long-term projects intended to improve infrastructure in the city, make it safer, more efficient, more environmentally friendly. This plan paints a picture of a city that will become less dependent on cars. The city says by 2030 it wants to provide hundreds of miles of new bikeways and sidewalks and bus corridors. In the long term, the plan focuses on maintaining existing public transit, things like expanding transit centers and adding some bus routes to underserved areas. The plan envisions a quote-unquote world-class transportation system, and planners acknowledge that will not be cheap. To meet their long-term public transit goals, they estimate they would need $700 to $800 million a year. I, for one, had no idea how much that actually was in a city budget, so we looked it up. They want $700 to $800 million a year for infrastructure. The Denver police budget this year is a bit more than $300 million. The department says their average funding for transportation is closer to $170 million right now, so about half what we spend on police, and that's not even enough to maintain what we have. So they admit that they're behind on current projects. They estimate that 93% of Denver's multi-use trails are not up to the city standards. 65% of traffic stops and 40% of sidewalks are not up to standard. They estimate that their maintenance responsibilities alone require more than $100 million a year.